Okay, I'm gonna name a few names, and that's the name of this title. It's on us. I remember when I was a little kid, me and my brother had a conversation the other day. We was debating when was the first time any of us heard about Black history as kids growing up in the Bronx. And for some people, the first time they'll hear about Black history is going to school. But I remember growing up on Prospect Avenue, I had Black history in my house. Whether you want to take certain things as I remember being 8 years old and my Malcolm X hat. Didn't know too much back then really, but knew he was somebody in the Black community. And then I remember we was talking about Martin Luther King, because these are some of the first two people when you ask somebody about Black history in America, you may hear Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and Rosa Parks. Those would be the first three names you'll hear. So as I said, when me and my brother was debating, and as I said, we had it in the house. Whether you see a Bob Marley picture, Peter Tosh, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, on the walls, Queen Nefertiti, like I would say it was programmed already in us, even though we had posters and pictures and videos, VHS. I would say it was something that was in me and my brother, just like millions around the world and in America itself. You didn't have to search for your history that's in your DNA. That's in your computer, in your mind. Programs from years and years and years and years. Your soul done been here before your mind thought of anything that you want to think about as being a human. So when I thought about that, because when you think about Black history or you tell somebody about Black history in America, yes, they have to run back to slavery first. And that has to be the first thing that people will talk about. And to me, I say it's cool. You leave some people alone with their opinions, because everybody has an opinion, and your opinion is nice for you, but it's not nice for the world. And you are free to have your opinion. You are open to have your opinion. But is your opinion holding any weight? Or is your opinion light as a feather? You know, when you think about certain people in American Black history, other than Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, Elijah Muhammad, he sparked a nation. And me, let me be honest to you, I'm a Rasta from beginning till there's no end. But what he did in creating the NOI in America, I salute him. Because he cleaned up a lot of people. A lot. A lot. And it's okay for many people to be ungrateful to his works. And many people will be ungrateful to his works, you know, but it's okay. Because many people could have their different opinions about Elijah Muhammad, but what he did, your opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Now, I remember being a teenager, like around 14. And this is when I started hearing about the quarrel. Bless up, man, capital Jews, bless up. I remember when I started hearing about the quarrel of Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. And we're gonna be real here, because I'm not gonna lie to people. After my mother and father, they are two of the best teachers ever in life to me, I could say. But after them two was Malcolm X. I never seen somebody outside of my parents spit and articulate words like he did and talk in front of college people and talk in front of our own people as well. And he didn't have to be disrespectful. That's one thing that I always respect. After he finished of being read and he made Malcolm X rise. You know, when he made Malcolm X rise and he put Red to rest, he changed 360. He changed into a different level. He went to a different level. And I always say that even when he was red, he still had it in him, but he had to go through the trials and tribulations. He had to go through the stages. He had to go to jail and clean himself up to come out and become who we all know today, Malcolm X. And I remember I was mad at everybody that didn't like Malcolm X and that was on Elijah Muhammad's side. I remember when I was like 17, I came to the realization that didn't make no sense me being mad, because to be totally honest, it was before my time, and I wish that it never went down. I don't care what people say and what Malcolm said and what Elijah said and what other people said. I just wish that that whole thing never happened with them having a big misunderstanding, I will say. That's the best way I could put it right now, because it's one of the things that I wish never happened in human history. Elijah and Malcolm to break apart. That's one thing in human history I wish never happened. Okay. And we're going to get to the second stage of that, because when the new version of them two came, you had the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and you had Khalid Abdul Muhammad. And whether people like it or not, Malcolm and Elijah was a force to be reckoned with together. Bless them two for life. And when you had Farrakhan and Khalid, a lot of people didn't like that combination, because that combination made people scared before they even talk or even move. And some people are still scared of that vibration till this day, because Khalid shook them up, and he's still shaking them up. Yes, his physical is gone, but his soul and his spirit is still here, and his energy is still here. Elijah is still here. Malcolm is still here. Martin is still here. You know, like, we're gonna get it and we're gonna understand well. Yes, their physicals are gone, but us that know, we know that they are still here. And they did their best. I always say that. Malcolm, Khalid, Louis Farrakhan, and Elijah did their best. You know, and I respect them four brothers. I respect them four kings. They fought. They stood up. What are you gonna do nowadays? Are you gonna speak up? Bless up, Brother Eric, bless up. Just speaking about some of the brothers that paved the way for people to even be talking right now, or for even to be thinking that they have a voice, whether it's the internet or whether it's in real life, you know? And it's on us right now to lead the way for the next generation and generations upon that. Because the next generation that come, they have to lead the next generation. It's a drop-off, you know? As the old people used to say, carry on tradition. Some people use the new modern day term, one hand wash the other. Well, it's something like that, okay? We leave stuff for the next generation to carry it on, and they leave for the next generation to carry it on. And we keep on going. I don't like how I see this world living now, where many humans are wasting life, not even valuing life, and thinking that you own life. We don't own this thing. We don't own this. We are just visiting. And you know how you go on a trip and say you're going to spend 2 weeks in Miami, and you end up spending one day, and then you come back home? Did you have a trip? No. And that's what many people are doing in life. Living for the moment, but not living for the whole. And going away. And some people, they look at it like, oh, as I hear a lot of people say throughout my life, oh, it's part of life. You know, we live, we die. For you simple-minded folks, it's very easy for you to explain things like that to people, and that's why you don't cherish or value anything, or even value the life you live yourself. So it's easy for you to tell people things like that, or even to say something like that out of your mouth. You know, like when Malcolm and them spoke back then and they did stuff, they knew they was doing it for times after times after times. They was doing it more for that if I'm speaking in this moment, it's gonna last though. Why you think people still would watch a Malcolm X speech from back then? Cause whatever they said back then is happening now. It's happening. And it's not only in America. And this is why I always say it's on the people that you live in America, or you live in London, China, Canada, Brazil, Jamaica, wherever you live. The climate, not the weather, but I'm talking about the pulse of the people, the climate, that climate. How do the people feel in America? How do the people feel in Canada? How do the people feel in London, in Dubai? The people are not feeling good. The people, they want change. They want to see change. These people are used to this, what we have now. You know, they're used to this, what we have now. And it's okay for now, but it will change. Because, as I always say, the people must be free because they want to be free, but they just don't know how to be free. I'll give you a little clue. Not taking nonsense that really goes on in the world that you see. And that's not you being some ultimate warrior in the world of trying to fight every battle. No. It's you just actually being real. And the world has been tainted so much that some people don't even know what real is no more. But I'll give you a clue. Real is something that's patting your hand on the water in the ocean. That's real. Real is clapping your hands. That's real. Okay? Real is blowing wind out of your mouth. That's real. But you have to remember, some people take illusions and try to make certain things look like something else. Just remember that. In closing, peace to Brother Malcolm, peace to Elijah, Khalid, and Louis Farrakhan, Afeni Shakur, Elaine Brown, Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, and many more. Thank you.